You know, I really like what shows like Secret Level and Love, Death and Robots have going. The idea of shorter length episodes that each have their own unique stories and animation styles is a very catchy one, at least for me. Now, I don't know much about filmmaking, but I can at least appreciate how the shorter episodes allows for more attention to detail and creative variety that would otherwise be impossible in like feature-length films, especially for animation where the showrunners get to unleash full unhinged creativity like this. There's like 5 Love, Death and Robots episodes that are basically stuck in my head forever at this point. One of the actually few Netflix animated series that really struck a chord with me. And Jibaro is definitely on there, The Witness as well. Man, the episodes were just so intriguing and thought-provoking, and at the time of first watching, I'd honestly never seen animation quality on that scale before. Call me a newbie. So obviously, LDR became a big deal for me after I watched it. It still is, I guess. So, pair all of that incredible animation and storytelling with the premise of popular/beloved video games. Enter Secret Level. I was super hyped up when I saw the trailers. Like, those dropped seemingly out of nowhere. Then the episodes dropped, and I got to watching it late as usual. And overall, I was pretty impressed. Tim Miller, Blair Studios, from LDR Production were on board here as well. So that explained some of the mind-boggling with like the Pac-Man episode. Episode 1 was a bit longer, at like 16 minutes runtime, and I don't think the show could have started on a better note. This Dungeons and Dragons episode really set the mood going for the entire season, and like kind of what to expect for the other episodes. The character animation was so good. Obviously, motion capture, and like the particle animations with the magic flares, fire, smoke, especially with the magic flares. Man, those are some realistic looking dragon skills, by the way. But it's something I really do appreciate, especially the character animation, because the entire premise of the show is short video game adaptations. So I was kinda expecting it to look like cutscenes, just rebranded as TV episodes. No, this looks way more polished, because with cutscenes, the devs are more focused on making the actual gameplay look nice, not the skippable parts. And still on episode 1, the few characters we're introduced to and the story itself gently tease you on with the idea of this massive, lore-filled world, thriving with magic, dark evil forces, and heroes and adventures. It gets your thrill up, gets you really hyped up for what you're seeing, but it's just short enough to keep that thrill up till the end of the episode. So after that epic drop or the chilling reveal, while the credits start rolling, you're left with a smirk on your face and newly initiated thought. And then you go into the next episode still high on the last one, and then the cycle repeats. For clarity, this analysis isn't canon for everyone, just how I've experienced watching the show. Yeah, the D&D episode is up there with the best of the best, not as short as the others, superior animation, and just an interesting glimpse into the Dungeons and Dragons lore. Watching this, I'd love to play D&D sometime, only I don't have any friends that would be interested now. Everyone's so preoccupied with like school and finding career paths. The fun just gets automatically phased out as we're getting older. Maybe older generations had it easier, I don't know. Anyways, the D&D episode wasn't even my favorite. I like thought-provoking. D&D was a bit thought-provoking, with like how this one kid, I'm sure he's actually old, could hold the spirit of a flipping dragon inside him, but then the actual dragon gets torn to shreds when it tries to do the same. And that it's this 5-headed beast of a dragon, now that's thought-provoking. More so that we're cut off right at the epic battle we'd like to see. A reminder that these episodes are just supposed to be short teasers, not full-on stories. More thought-provoking, however, is the Pac-Man episode. Completely transforms the idea of the game with this dark horror version, kind of a dystopian post-Matrix reality, where the Pac is the little orb here trapped in the maze, and the man is whoever it decides to wake up and use as a vessel. And even the ghosts are the actual ghosts of the things he eats along the way, plus the theme of repetition from the actual game. Very much like some LDR episodes, Pac-Man and probably Splunky remind the viewer that not all of them are supposed to be faithful adaptations of the games. Some of them can just be wild, imaginative, or rogue retellings of the known narrative, and it's just thought provocative enough that I'd rate it a 9 out of 10, but still not my favorite. Warhammer 40k was just the definition of drip and badassery, with like the music, the mood, the grim visuals. Man, it's just no nonsense badass. Not a Warhammer 40k nerd, so still not my favorite. Solid 9 out of 10 though. Concord was okay, I guess. I kinda see how being a story-based single player could have helped the game. Like, there's at least some story here to get people invested, and even a teeny tiny bit of lore with like the maps and the great beyond space anomaly thing. So a decent 7. That said, not every episode would score above average. With the playtime episode, I find it hard to wrap my head around how one game could have all these different elements jammed into it. It felt more like a trailer for a separate show than one story. What would a game like this be like? Would you be watching a movie, shooting at stuff? Like, is it even an actual game? Okay, so I just checked and it seems everyone is calling it an ad, so that's what I'll go with. Out of place, out of touch. 4 out of 10. Also, the New World episode felt rather like a mobile game ad for children. The themes here didn't feel as matured as the other episodes, all cheerfully colorful with zero matured humor. More in line with your typical video game adaptation. Not the worst thing ever, but still a 5 in my opinion. Like, you could still watch it and not cringe, I guess. I kinda got bored with the Exodus one as well, with all the time travel and the aging. Well, it's not even time travel per se, more like different travel speeds, hence different aging times, if that makes sense. I personally felt like the episode was too short to put in that many time skips and still have something workable. So a 6 out of 10. Okay, so out of all these episodes, the one that intrigued me the most was the Unreal Tournament one. Again, another game that I've never even heard of outside Secret Level. Unreal Tournament was the only episode that I felt like gave a full fleshed out story, coming close to 19 minutes, and one of the longest episodes this season. I guess it adds up. Okay, the story alone is just balling. Human malpractice leads to this mining robot, XAN or Zan, getting damaged, and somehow that unlocks his ability to hack into and take control of the other robots, and even a sense of higher awareness. Man, if brain damage was that positive. Human malpractice again leads the bots to rebel, and as punishment, the humans decide to put them in an arena to be exterminated for their crimes, in tournament style, the human fashion, by cheating that is. It doesn't play out as expected, however. With the lucky glitch and Zan as the leader, the robots become the more deductive, more battle-apt fighters, and they even become a bit of the fan favorites. And if it were any other episode, that's where it would end, right? No, not this one. Zan is able to break into the entire system that controls the robots, and even takes control of the arena itself. There's even a final showdown that's just badass. And overall, you end the episode getting the entire story and needing nothing more to have been added. Yeah, for what it's worth, this was a 10. Watched the Sifu episode, haven't played the game before, but liked the concept, so solid 7.5. The Honor of Kings one really interested me as well, with its big reveal. Another solid episode, like as far as an 8.5. And last but not least, the Crossfire episode was kinda confusing because I couldn't pick who the actually good guys were, hence couldn't root for either side. And I know now that it's a real game, but was I the only one who thought this final showdown location looked a little bit too much like Shipment from Call of Duty? It even had the rain puddles and everything. Just saying. It's been great seeing generally positive reception for this banger of a series. it's officially been confirmed for a second season. And yeah, that will be all for this video, I guess. Subscribe to stay updated on my posts. And as always, thanks for watching. Catch you later.